My name is Kavina Butterfield. I'm from Bermuda. I am 41 years of age. In January 2024, I went to the doctor with injuries, with pain in my neck, my back, and my shoulder. So we took an MRI and they found a mass on my thyroid. We had to continue testing, and by February 3, it was a suspicion of malignancy. We went through a lot of tests, and in the interim, I went and got a charity number so that I can get funds to donate towards the cause of coming to Uchee Pines. I heard about Uchee Pines through my Uncle Darren. He had called here when he had pancreatitis, and they guided him as to how to heal himself. So the journey was very, very tough. It wasn't easy at all. Had a lot of doubting and doubters, but I stayed faithful to God and I stayed strong. I continued to pray and I continued to get the support from some family members and most of all my friends. So thank God for my friends. I went to the endocrinologist on May 1, and he was letting me know that they want to take my right thyroid out as well as the mass. And he asked me which hospital I chose to go to, and I told him Johns Hopkins. He also said if they prefer to take the whole thyroid, he told me not to resist. And I took his advice. But the main takeaway from the meeting with the endocrinologist is that I prayed that God gives me enough time to get to Uchee Pines and to heal myself before the date was set for me to go to Johns Hopkins. And I left rejoicing from the endocrinologist appointment because he confirmed that it was going to be late June. And regardless of everything else that he had said, I was very content because God had answered my prayers. And I knew from then that God was going to work miracles within this situation and my life. So I continued to raise money. I continued to pray. And on May 14, I was able to travel to Atlanta. On May 16, I came to Uchee Pines. On the Monday, I met with my LC, which is Miss Regina, as well as Dr. Marvin here at Uchee Pines. We had a talk about what goals I wanted from being at Uchee Pines. And I informed him that my main goal is for the least the mass to shrink, the most for it to completely go away. And he put me on a plan where we did fever baths for 3 to 4 days, and then doing sauna, infrared dome sauna. We did that through the day, and we did poultices at night. The main takeaway was that he wanted me to fast. So from Monday afternoon, lunch, after lunch, I fasted. I began before he even told me to. He said I can start on the Tuesday, but I fasted right away because I knew that God had something in store for me and for me to be able to share my story with others. I fasted for 92 hours. It was tough in the beginning, but with the strength of God and the support of my LC, Regina, and my junior LC, Sardis, I got through it. Then I did the fever baths on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It was tough. On the Monday, I wanted to jump out. On the Tuesday, it was much easier. On Wednesday, it was smoother. Thursday, we did infrared sauna, and that was probably a 10 in regards to the strength that you needed. You need a lot of strength to get through that, endure it. And if I can rate the fever baths, I would say an 8. But I just continued to pray through it, and I made sure that I kept my mind focused on God. We did a lot of diets here where they have such great food. The food is awesome. The water is awesome here as well. The main takeaways, like they teach you how to do stress management, they have health classes on how to heal yourself and others, and they're very willing and open to help at any time, whether it's just for a prayer or if it's in regards to any ailment that you're experiencing, even if it's outside of what you're here for. I appreciated my time here at Uchee Pines because we was able to get the guidance that I needed and the foundation. So to go on my journey, from Monday to Wednesday, we did fever treatment. And on Wednesday, when I went to rest, it was doctor's orders to measure the mass on my thyroid. And when my nurse went to measure the mass, it had shrunk immensely. It was the most emotional experience ever. We laughed, we cried, and we prayed. We had to give thanks to God. When we met with Dr. Marvin on the Thursday, it was another emotional event because the miracles that God has done for me in the short span of time that I've been here is only through God. And thanks to Uchee Pines for being able to allow God to use them, I was able to get the care, the love, and the health guidance, the temperance that I needed. And I would suggest if anyone is thinking or considering alternative healing, I would definitely suggest that they come to Uchee Pines.